Let's read it. So the diagram shows a logo made from three circles. Each circle has a center O. Daisy says that exactly one third of the logo is shaded. Is Daisy correct? You must show you're working. So it may look like she's correct just by looking at the diagram. However, it's 4 marks. You never want to just look at a diagram and say whether or not she's correct, especially when it's question 26 of an exam towards the end. There has to be some calculations involved. So you can never just look at something and say, yeah, that looks about right. That looks like one third of the whole thing. I'm going to say she is. Never ever do that. You need to use some maths, don't you? Right? Now, how do we go about doing this? Now, what we need to calculate is essentially what she's saying. We need to calculate the fraction of the area that is shaded of this logo and actually see if it's equivalent to a third, right? How do we do that? Well, we need to first figure out the areas of the shaded area. So we need to figure out two things. Firstly, we need to figure out shaded area, and we also need to figure out the total area. Once we have those two, we can just put them over each other. So that should be second, and that should say total. Second and then total area. We need these two. Once we figure out what those two are, the answer for the fraction that is shaded is going to be equal to, let me write fraction shaded, or area that is shaded, I should say. Yeah? Fraction that is shaded, or it doesn't matter. It's just going to be equal to the shaded area, right? Divided by the total area. Once we have those two, we put them over each other. That will give us the fraction that is shaded. And if it's equal to a third, then she's fine. She's correct. If it's not, then she's incorrect. Does that make sense, guys? Yeah. Now, how do we go about working out shaded areas? Remember what we did these questions before? 99% of the time, you could never find the area of a shaded area. You could never find the area of a shaded shape just using a formula. What you're normally doing is taking one area away from another. Yeah. Now, what you can do is, for example, if I look at this here, I'm gonna consider this the outer part, right? This is the outer part here. Because if you think about it, if I was to get that ring there, then what did I do? Let me write shaded here. Would it not be that ring that goes from O to the end where the red line is, right? And then I will take away that smaller circle inside with a radius of 4. Does that make sense? Because the moment I imagine it's like this, if I grab that circle and I put that there, could you see that if I put it there, I get a ring. So if I remove that, I will be left with that ring part. So let me actually do this so it's super clear actually. I'll draw a circle again. I'll draw a circle like this, like that, and I'm going to draw another circle in like that, right? To get that shaded part, I have the outer circle and I remove the inner circle, and that will leave me with the shaded part. Do we agree with that, guys? Does that make sense? That's super important when you're doing these types of questions. Happy with that? Just going to shade this in gray because it's shaded in gray. But I'm just going to wait for you guys to say yes or no. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay, good stuff. So, how do we work out that area? Well, firstly, looking at the diagram, guys, from the red outer circle, right? What would the radius be of this one? We know the middle one is 4, the inside one. What is the area of the outer one? What is the radius? Sorry. Close. It's going to be 4 plus the 3, isn't it? It's going to be 4 plus the 3, which is going to be 7. So the radius for that one is 7. Does that make sense? Yeah. So we need to work out the area of both of these, right? So the area of both of them, well, firstly, the formula for the area of a circle is pi r squared. So the area of this one is going to be pi. Let me write pi r squared here. It's going to be pi and then 7 squared. And then this one's going to be pi and then 4 squared, right? Now, this one, 7 squared is 49. This is 49 pi. 4 squared is 16. This is 16 pi. So we've got the area of both of them. So the shaded area is going to equal 49 pi, take away the area of the smaller one, 16 pi. which is going to be, can somebody tell me what this would be in terms of pi? What's 49 take away 16? Fantastic. Laverne, it's 33 pi. So we know the shaded area. That's amazing. It's 33 pi. We're going to just keep that there. Now, what we need to do is work out what fraction of this is shaded in regard to the total, right? How do we do that? Well, we need to work out the total area, right? And that's not too bad because the total area of this logo is going to be the outer circle, isn't it? From the outer circle. So if I draw that out here, like that, the center's at O. Can somebody tell me what the radius would be, please? What would the radius be for the outer one? You got four, you got three, and you got another three. So altogether, 4 plus 3 plus 3, that's 10, isn't it? It's going to be 10. This there. It's going to be 10, like that. Yeah? Well done, Laverne. So now we can select the area for this one is going to be pi and then 10 squared. 10 squared is 100. This is 100 pi. So we now have got the two things that we needed. We've got the shaded area, we've got the total area. So we can now figure out what the fraction of the shaded is. So let me put this in here. So I'm going to put this right here. Now, the shaded area was 33 pi. The total area we just saw was 100 pi. So 33 pi, and then this is 100 pi. So therefore, the fraction that is shaded is going to be equal to 33 pi divided by 100 pi. Do we agree with that, guys? Does that make sense? Just before I continue? Yeah, just gonna wait for all of you to say yes or no, so that we're happy. Yeah, good stuff. Now, this fraction here, can it be simplified? Just out of curiosity, is there anything that can cancel? We've got the common factor top and bottom. We've got pi multiplying both top and bottom here. We can actually cancel these. We can actually cancel these. I do it like that, so it's clear. So that means it's going to be literally 33 divided by 100. That is the fraction that is shaded, 33 out of 100, right? Now we need to go back to Daisy's statement. What did Daisy say? Daisy says that exactly one third of the logo is shaded. We've calculated that fraction to be 33 out of 100. Are these the same, guys? I write this here and then I write 33 over 100. Are these the same? What do we think? Yes or no? Well, how can you be certain, right? Well, firstly, let's maybe try and get them to be the same equivalents. We'll see if we can try and get them equivalent. So one third, I've got a 33 there. So let's times this by 33. That's going to be 33. And then that times by 33 is 99. So what we're actually comparing is 33 out of 99 with 33 out of 100. These are clearly not the same because the denominators aren't the same. So therefore, Daisy is incorrect. Daisy is incorrect. And that would be our answer for that one. And that would give you the 4 marks. Does that make sense, guys?